I came home and I was like, oh, there's an Easter bunny on the counter, but it's not an Easter bunny, it's an Easter squirrel. And one of my favorite movies is Anchorman. And one of the best parts of the movie is when he's like, I shit a whole squirrel. And then Brick's like, I think I ate your chocolate squirrel. So they do make chocolate squirrels, y'all. I am going to tell you about the different podcasts that I listen to during the week. I have 4 staples that I listen to throughout the week. I mean, there's no scheduled day that I listen to them except for one of them. Monday is Ear Biscuits Day, no matter what. Ear Biscuits, you've heard me talk about before, is Rhett and Link's podcast, and it's my favorite thing that Rhett and Link do. The first 2 seasons were candid conversations with somebody interesting from the internet. They've expanded that for this season so far, and it's not just limited to the internet. They're talking to people from all over the spectrum that they find interesting. The best one, in my opinion, I really like the Dave DeAndrea one because he was really cool and he made Rhett and Link laugh a lot. But yesterday's was really good too. Like, it was just the 2 of them. It was supposed to be the first Ear Biscuit of the season, and it was such a personal one. Like, I like the ones where you get to know them a little better. The next one is Dear Hank and John. And Dear Hank and John is the Vlog brothers, John Green and Hank Green. And their podcast shtick is they're a comedy podcast about death. And every week you get to tune in and listen to the news from Mars and AFC Wimbledon. Listening to them it's fun to hear them together. Like, they've taken such a small project like Brotherhood 2.0 and made it this huge thing that now includes a podcast, which I think is super cool. Third podcast that I started listening to is Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig. And on one side of the spectrum, you have Rhett and Link with Ear Biscuits, and it is like a deep conversation with whoever they have on. And then you have Grace, who's on this other side of the spectrum, who did not want anything about that, which is why it's called Not Too Deep. And she just, like, asks really silly questions. And my favorite ones are with Mitchell Davis, because I can't. It's basically, it turns into Mitchell's podcast. It's like Mitchell's podcast featuring Grace and Jack. That's Jack Ferry, who is her producer for Not Too Deep. I mean, this is going to lead in nicely to the final podcast that we're going to talk about, which is Popcorn. And Popcorn just came out last week, and it is Mitchell Davis and Jack Ferry's podcast. And they discuss movies. I love this so much, because that's my jam. They hinted at doing Popcorn. I think when the spark probably happened when they watched Krampus, and the first episode was with Grace, and it was about the 1988 movie Big. Let me tell you, if you like conversations about movies that are just like picking apart classics, that's what I'm assuming is going to happen. Their next episode is going to be Back to the Future 2. Actually, today I tweeted to Elizabeth Perkins, who Jack Ferry is in love with in the movie Big, and I tweeted the podcast to her and said, you should listen to Jack confess his love for you. And he tweeted me back with this face like, oh God, no, why? And I'm like, well, just helping you out, bro. Like, it's going to be awesome if she listens. Jack Ferry, if Elizabeth Perkins responds to that tweet, you owe me big. Like, oh, hey, owe me big.
I just got home from work, and I had lunch today with someone else that works at Binghamton University, and we were talking about foreign dramas, and I thought I could tell you a little bit about the foreign drama that I've been watching on Netflix that I love and totally want everyone to go watch because it's amazing. First of all, Amy cracks up all the time because I'm obsessed with foreign dramas, and it's not even just like Korean dramas and Japanese dramas, although those give me life. So the one I've been watching on Netflix is called Good Morning Call, and it's about these 2 high school students, one male, one female, that get kind of screwed over by a scam, and they end up renting the same apartment. So then they have to live together and deal with all this drama, and it's in Japan, so that's like a major no-no. I mean, I think that's like a no-no in any country, but especially in Japan. I finished the whole thing that's on Netflix, and I was really sad, and I was like, okay, they left it kind of open-ended. Where's it gonna go? What's going on? And then I looked at IMDb, and it's like 2016 to open-ended, so I'm really hoping they get a second season. I like foreign dramas. I don't really know why I enjoy them so much. I just really like to watch them. I think it might be because they're so cheesy and over the top. The first one that I really enjoyed was Hana Yoridango, which also has a South Korean version and a Taiwanese version, and it was very popular. But the South Korean title is what it's known as mostly, and that's Boys Over Flowers. And that is about a working class young lady that ends up in an elite school, and it's just really comical to watch her take on these spoiled rich boys. And then after that I have Hanakimi. It's about this girl that goes to an all-boys school dressed as a boy. It's really funny. There's obviously crazy scandalous things that happen, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And I think I watched this just a little while before She's the Man came out, and I was like, yo, they stole it. And then of course, you know, like, Shakespeare did it first, but whatever. And then I have Life is Beautiful, which is super Korean, so just heads up if you want to watch it. There is a lot that, as a female, I don't agree with and I don't like seeing, but a lot of the plot lines are very interesting because there's this whole scandalous thing about an LGBT character, and it's just really interesting to see how the Korean TV shows handle it. I would recommend it for anyone that's interested in culture and understanding other countries. It's like the family runs a resort, but then you got the one son that's a doctor that is gay and dealing with that, and then you've got the daughter that works at the resort, but she likes to go out and have a good time, and the family's like, but that's not respectable and stuff. It's great. And yeah, that's it for my dramas. But I thought I would also share that I also watch a lot of anime, and I read a lot of manga or manhwa, and if you have any recommendations for stuff that I should watch that I haven't seen, send it my way. I love getting recommendations for new shows and new books and new things. I love it.